Yo, hello guys. Let's talk about vocal polarity. What do I mean by this? It's a term I just come up with, and it's to describe a phenomenon. Something that happens to all singers, a choice that all singers have to make, whether they're conscious of it or not, and frankly, most of them are not conscious of it. They've either defaulted to one side or the other. So what are we talking about? Basically, the mind really is able to either go in one of two directions. It's either in the direction of kind of comfort, acceptance, openness, or fear, closing down, threat, this kind of mindset. Literally, that's it. You've got those two distinctions, those two directions that you can go with your thinking. Yeah? Now, as much as technique's important and we drill it over and over again, we get better at it. This really is the key to unlocking vocal greatness, shall we say. It's understanding that when singers struggle, when singing is going badly for you personally, all the time, pretty much without exception, you will find yourself drifting off into, is it this side or this side? I can't remember. Drifting off into fear, uncertainty, doubt, self-consciousness, all that stuff. So your ability to inhibit that response, your ability to begin to control that response, and your ability to drift towards comfort, openness, calmness, all those qualities that great singers have, a lack of fear, basically. Your ability to inhibit those negative emotions and those negative thoughts and drift towards positive emotions and positive thoughts is in large part your ability to sing well. Now, the question is, how do we achieve this? And the answer is, it's a combination of consciously making a decision to do so, but it's also a result of confidence in your ability. So it's this funny combination of mental and physical with singing, always, because you can't gain confidence as a singer if your technique's poor. It's very difficult. Conversely, it's hard to be scared when your technique is very good. So when singers struggle, that tends to go hand in hand with poor technique. So as they develop their technique, they're able to let go of those fears, be more open over time. And eventually, as their technique gets better and better and better, they develop more confidence, more predictability in what they're doing, more ability overall, and all that starts to gradually send them towards confident singing. But it's always important to address this basic emotional state. Yesterday was a good example for me. Very confident, very calm as I was performing, but about an hour and a half into my show, something unpredictable happened. Something I didn't expect happened with my voice. And I had to mentally remind myself to remain calm, stick to my technique, and see it through. If I didn't have that ability to consciously A, understand where my mind was going, and B, counteract that with the correct thoughts, I could have very easily have panicked, which would create some more problems, which creates more panic, and get into that negative cycle. So, two things. We've got to get better at technique, and we've got to get better at consciously inhibiting fear and making sure that we minimize the chances of that fear taking over and leading us down that awful path. Now, depending where you are in your journey, you may have 90% of your singing dominated by fear and poor technique. You may only have a little bit of your singing, say 10-15% of your singing if you're further down the road. But all singers face this. It's just a question of percentages. Even when you're very, very good, unexpected things are going to happen. and you're going to have to mentally cope with it and deal with it in the moment. Whether it's in the middle of a song, whether it's between songs, whether it's for a short amount of your set, whether it's for most of your set. You're very unwell. Your voice just isn't working well that day. You may have to deal with some struggles for the entire set. Other days, everything falls into place, and boom, the whole show just flies through, no problem. So don't beat yourself up if you are scared, if you feel like you're inhibited, if you feel like you're choking off, if you feel like, oh, that sounds awful, what people think, and all these things. We're all dealing with it every time we sing. It's just that when we get better, we have to deal with it a lot less, to a lot smaller degrees. But we still have to deal with it. So these problems are not unique to you. I used to feel like, oh, I've got all these issues as a singer and nobody else seems to have them. It's not the case. All singers are dealing with this. It's just some singers have it to a large degree, other singers have it to a small degree. And the better you get, the more smaller and smaller and smaller it gets. Yeah? Combination of mental and physical coming together, and then you can sing like a god, and you can rule it, and everybody loves you, you're worshipped, and you become a god. Something like that anyway. See you in a bit, guys. Bye. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you want my help personally, you can book a one-on-one training session. Drop me a message. My email is in the description. And if you feel like this message was of value, then please feel free to make a donation equal to that value. Again, donation link is in the description. And finally, please share this video with other singers you know. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you in another video. Bye.